Everybody tells you to backtest, but why should you do it? And how to actually do it? And what software to use, what data to gather, how to gather your data, where to log it in. We have all of those questions. Welcome to the Trading Fanatic channel. In this video, it's going to be all about backtest, how to do it, different ways to do it, how to gather data, and everything you need to know about. And I'm also going to show you some softwares, and I'm going to give you a tool to actually go ahead, backtest, gain data about your trading strategy. And of course, through backtesting, you're going to become a better trader and learn your strategy in and out. So if you're excited about it, let's get into it. Let's say you bought a course or you watched a YouTube video, and usually educators are going to illustrate their point better by picking textbook scenarios from the markets in order to illustrate their point. And at the moment when you see that video and when you see those examples, you get that ping aha moment, and you're like, wow, this really makes sense. I really understand this concept. I'm just gonna go ahead and apply it in the markets. It looks pretty easy. I understand it. But then tomorrow or on the same day, you go on the markets and you try to find examples, or you even live trade what you learned, but it doesn't seem to work. You get losses and you get a little bit confused. Maybe you go back to watch that video again, and again it makes sense, but again you just go on the live markets, or you just try to find some examples on the charts and nothing seems to work. So then what you do is, all right, this video doesn't work, this course doesn't work, I'm gonna find another one. So what that is called is strategy hopping. And why do traders do this? Well, they're too lazy to actually sit down, study, backtest, apply what they learn over a long period of time. And usually professional traders use data-backed strategies. So they have a strategy that is backed up by data over 1 or 2 years of backtesting that actually proves there is a positive edge within that strategy, so that they know over long term they're winning. So that is the difference between losing and winning traders. Winning traders have data over their strategies, while losing traders, they just study something, they try to go apply it, it doesn't work immediately, and then they try to find the next thing. And in order to transition from a losing to a winning trader, you have to backtest. So let me tell you what actually backtesting is. As for the basics, backtesting means simply going back in time throughout past data to pretty much test whether your strategy worked in the past. Because it is said that if a strategy produces positive results in the past throughout a longer period of time, well, it is most likely going to yield a positive return also in the future. And again, pay attention, I say over a longer period of time, which could mean like minimum 6 months. I would even go to backtest the strategy for a year, because 3 months you can be winning. In the next 1 month, you can blow all of your earnings, right? So you gotta make sure to put it to the pressure test of all different market conditions. So again, never go forward without backtesting a strategy or a concept you want to use. Now listen carefully, because this is the most important benefit of backtesting. It serves the purpose of gathering data regarding your trading strategy. And the beauty of it is that you can do it really fast. I mean, if you want to test 1 month of live data, so if you want to sit through 1 month of price action in the live markets, well, again, you gotta wait for 30 days. But in backtesting, you can just test 1 month of data for 1 hour. So you get to really gather data fast, so you can very quickly prove whether your strategy actually works. But now, when it comes to data, I'm right now going to give you 10 important pieces of information that you should gather. And then of course, I'm gonna give you a template for doing that. So pay close attention. All right, so the first important piece of data you need is very simple and very basic, which is your final result. Did you lose money or did you win money? If you lost money, just throw the strategy in the trash, because why would you continue testing something that costed you money? And if you actually did win money, we'll take into account the percentage you returned, because maybe there is something better you can tweak later that is going to yield you a better result. Second of all is how many trades did you lose and how many trades did you win, which is going to determine your win rate. And you pretty much do this by taking how many trades you won out of all the trades you took. So if you took 100 trades and you won 50 trades, you divide either 100 by 50 or 50 by 100, and you're going to get that 50% win rate. Now, don't do the maths by yourself. I'm going to share an amazing tool with you within the Notion dashboard that automatically calculates your win rate for you, also including break-even trades. Now, the third thing you want to know is your average risk to reward ratio. You really want to find out that sweet spot for your strategy so that you know what is the average risk to reward that it is returning. And I want you to measure your maximum risk to reward on every single trade, and I want to measure your minimum, which is not that important. Why do I make you measure the maximum risk to reward of every trade? Because let's say you're taking 2R on every trade, but on average, all of your trades are hitting like 5 to 6R. So when you have that information, then of course you can make a decision to increase your risk to reward ratio and of course make more money. So it is very important to find the median or the average risk to reward ratio of your strategy. Fourth and very important data point, this is your average stop loss size. So what you simply have to do is when you take a trade, just logging the stop loss size you're taking, because again, at the end of your backtesting session, you're going to see what is your usual or average stop loss, so that when you encounter a trade live, if the stop loss is way too big from what you're usually using, maybe you skip the trade. If it's small, maybe it's better. Again, you have to know your average stop loss size, and of course then you have to find ways in order to either decrease it or increase it depending on what you want to do. Fifth point that not a lot of you do is to take note of your best trading days. And I know you're going to be surprised, but you're literally going to see that, for example, Mondays are your best days, and of course the sixth tip is to also mark up your worst days, because again, you want to know on which days you're most likely to lose money. For me, those are Thursdays. I don't know why, but I lose money on Thursday. So guess what? I don't trade on Thursday. I don't know why, but again, throughout my backtesting, I see that on Thursday, I lost much more than I won over a longer period of time. So again, this gives me the edge to skip Thursdays, to actually recharge myself and to come back stronger on Friday, which is one of my best trading days. Number 7 is the max trades per day. I want you to backtest like you're doing in a textbook scenario. I want you to take every single trade that you see in the live market. So then of course, you know, for example, the maximum trades that I ever took was 6 trades. Because when you have that number, you know later how to tweak your risk parameters. Because for example, you might say, oh, I'm only gonna take 2 trades per day. But what if those first 2 trades are losses and then the third trade is a win, right? And this is why you really have to first backtest, see what is the maximum amount of trades you can take per day, so that you know also how to tweak your risk parameters. If you risk like 2% per trade and you lose 2 trades in a row, well, you're down quite a lot. But if you know that on average you take 6 trades per day, then of course you're going to decrease your risk a little bit so that you allow more bullets to strike throughout the day. Which brings me to point number 8, which is the max losses you have per day. So what is the maximum amount of losses you're going to be taking per day, which of course is going to show you like what kind of losing streak you can get into, or when should you stop trading. Because if you find out that some days you can take 4 to 5 losses in a row, then maybe you decide, okay, well, if I took 3 losses in a row or 4, then I'm just going to stop and not go even forward. So again, take note of that. The other point you want to also mark out is your max losing streak. And that is extremely important, because if you know that, for example, in your backtesting, you had a period in which you lost 12 trades in a row, which happens with strategies of like 30 to 40 to 50% win rate, it is very possible you lose like more than 10 trades in a row. But if you actually have this in your data, when you're live trading, and if you lose a trade and then second and third and fifth and fourth and sixth, and you're like, oh, you're not going to be panicking, because you know in backtesting your maximum losing streak is 12 trades, and you also know that long term you're going to get on top. So take note of your maximum losing streak. And also, opposite, take note of your maximum winning streak. How many trades did you win in a row on a maximum basis? Because then you know, for example, if on average you take 5 winners in a row, then you might know, like if you take 4, if you take 5 winners in a row in the live markets, well, you might start expecting that next loss. And I know it sounds strange, you just gotta keep showing up, but having that data to support you, where you know, okay, I'm on a 5 trade winning streak, well, most likely I'm gonna take a loss, and you're actually prepared. And finally, I want you to actually get granular with your trading strategy. And by granular, I mean dive even deeper. What you can also look for is timing. Which session is your best performing session for the strategy? Exactly at what time? Because what I found for my strategy is that it performs the best on London Open. And if I do not take my trade in those 2 hours into London Open, then on the next hours, I'm gonna lose, right? And this is actually getting granular into the strategy, and not only also looking at the technicals. So for example, you can get granular on liquidity. How many of the trades you win if the Asian session high or low is not taken? How many of the trades you win if the session high or low is taken, right? How many trades do you win or lose if you're trading on the 15-minute? How many trades do you win or lose if you're trading on the 30-minute? You gotta really get granular in order to find those little things that are eventually going to help you make more profit. All right, I really hope you took note of all of those data points. And now before we jump into the technicals and actually show you how to backtest with the technicalities, I want to first talk about forward testing, or also known as paper trade. And I really love this. The difference between backtesting and forward testing is that within forward testing, you're actually testing the strategy live. So listen, first you have to backtest. You have to really prove to yourself that this strategy has worked in the past. But again, just like in sports, you can be really good at practice, right? You can be great at practice, you can be doing great results, but when competition comes in, you might freeze and you might not be able to execute on what you actually did on the practice, right? Same with trading. If you performed amazing in backtesting, again, in backtesting, you're calm, there is no emotions running, there is no like live candles ticking, because in live markets, you might miss the trades, you might not see the trades. Every single scenario is going to be different. So again, you have to spend a lot of time forward testing the strategy in the live markets in order to really gain that confidence and actually the skill to execute the strategy. Because backtesting showed you that it works, but then of course, after you see it works, you have to get better at executing it live. So if you ask me, your next step after backtesting should be to open a small live account, right? So $100, $300, $500, whatever you can afford, and just trade very low risk, like 0.01%, or maybe even just take 0.01 lots. And what is this going to help you is to actually get involved in the market, but with real money and real execution. Because a lot of you trade demo, like screw demo, you don't need demo because again, there is no emotions, it's fake money, and the transition from demo to live is usually very painful. So much better make a little investment of a very small amount into a live trading account and start taking those trades live based on your backtested strategy, but with the real funds. And pretty much this is going to help you perform better later when you start trading live with bigger risk, like 0.50% or 1% risk, because you have seen that during live markets with low risk, you actually sold a strategy and you executed on the strategy, and you're going to be well prepared later. And oftentimes, like, you can be really profitable in backtesting, but funny as it is, you go on the live markets and you get crushed. And this is pretty much because the market changes its cycle. We get some new things developing in the world economy that changes the market sentiment. And again, your strategy all of a sudden stops working. So do not give up. Keep testing for a long period of time, 3 months, 6 months, to really see whether it works. Master that strategy, and again, do not spend months just backtesting, going back all the way to like 2018 to backtest whether it worked in 2 years. The only data you need is the most recent year. So get that and then get into the live markets, because it's much better to learn from the live markets and adapt that strategy rather than just spending time on backtest. All right, it's time to get technical because I know you're here just for that. Now, in order to backtest properly, you're going to be needing a data gathering tool. Now, this is usually TradingView for a lot of us, but there are also some incredible softwares like FXReplay that allows you to actually go back through for a lot of data and actually to execute the strategy as you are in real time. So I'm going to talk about 2 of them. But for both of those, well, for FXReplay, it gives you a lot of data we're going to talk about in a bit. But for TradingView, you are going to need some sort of a data gathering tool like an Excel spreadsheet, or also, because I really love you, all fanatics, I'm going to give away to you an incredible Notion spreadsheet in which you can actually include all the data points I mentioned a little bit earlier. And not only that, but again, within that Notion spreadsheet, you're going to get kind of separate data points for all of the trades you took. And for every single trade, there is going to be another little template that you can actually enter your higher time frame, middle time frame, lower time frame analysis, and also reflect on that trade, and also some incredible stuff which we're going to be covering in a bit. So as I said, we can either backtest on TradingView or on a FXReplay software. So let's jump into the charts and have a look at both options. All right, so if you decide to use TradingView for your backtesting, there are a few things you must know about. First of all, you have limited data to go back to when you use TradingView. For example, if you go down to the 1 minute time frame, you can just get around 4 to 5 weeks of data with the basic plan. However, if you try to backtest hard time frames, like let's say 15 minute to 5 minute, you can go further back in time. So for example, myself, I believe I am with the most kind of basic plan, which is, this essentials plan. And again, like with this thing, you get absolutely everything you need, and you can see you get 10K historical bars. So I think this is pretty much 10,000 1 minute candles, which is pretty much gonna give you how many weeks and how many days you can go back to. So again, like if I just go back to the weekly time frame, you can see that if you try to go way back in time like this, and then you go to the 1 minute, oops, you're gonna have a data point unavailable right here. So again, if you go to the weekly time frame, I do think you can get around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks of data. So if you go 5 weeks back, and then if you go to the 1 minute time frame, there we go. We have the data. So make sure to keep that in mind. Second point is that you're not held accountable when you use TradingView. So for example, you can take trades after they happened, or you can skip trades if they lose. I used to do that. Again, don't lie to yourself, because if you use TradingView, you're gonna need honesty. If you didn't see the trade, and if you missed the trade, you don't include it in your backtesting. Just because the trade happened, but you didn't take it, it doesn't mean you have to include it, because then you're getting into unrealistic backtesting data. Okay? And third of all, you have to put in the work to enter all of your data manually into a sheet, which a lot of traders are lazy to do. So you cannot just go on TradingView and like go on the 50-minute time frame and say, okay, I'm gonna take, for example, this short, and I'm gonna take, for example, this short. My strategy works. No, you have to gain a lot of data data, and this is why I personally make my private mentors go back in time and give me 50 trades back tested or live traded, which then we go together and review on a one-on-one basis. Okay, so with that being said, as one of the gifts in this video, I have included a Notion backtesting template in the description in this video, so make sure to grab it. And right now, I'm going to give you an example of how you can use TradingView to take trades. And then, of course, I'm going to show you how to use the Notion template in order to enter your data. All right, so as I explained, you can go, if you want to test the 1 minute time frame, you can go back just 5 weeks. So we have to go, for example, at the beginning of October. And then, of course, you go on the weekly time frame by hitting the replay tool right there. And again, you need that paid option on TradingView. And then what you simply do is you perform your top-down analysis. Again, so let's say in this case, the market broke structure to the upside, so we're bullish, but then of course the market came back, it broke structure to the downside, so we're bearish. That is our supply zone. So currently we're at a lower low, we can expect a potential pullback, or of course we can expect a continuation. Okay, so get real with the actual stuff you're going to be doing when you live trade. Okay, then of course you drop to the 50-minute time frame, and once again, feel free to add all of your indicators. Now, the beauty of TradingView is that you can add, for example, the Asian session. You can add different tools that you want to use. So let's say, for example, I'm just going to play 50-minute candles until the Asian session ends. And pretty much this is how I'm going to tackle the market live. There it is. Asian session has closed. Frankfurt is about to open. So again, I'm going to see what I'm going to be looking for. Well, potentially to take out the Asian high and to take a short with the trend, or if we start by taking the low, knowing that we're at a lower low, I'm going to be looking for long. Okay, so again, you pretend you're live trading. And of course, you wait. I can see that the Asian range was very nicely taken. So let's say that if I get a trend change above this guy, I'm gonna take a trade. And let's say you want to enter like with a stop order, right? Do it before it actually happens, because I suspect this one can actually break up right now, and then of course you're gonna miss the trade. Okay, so if you want to take a trade, let's just see what happens, right? So there we go. So don't just say, oh, this market went up, well, I would have entered this trade from here. No, you cannot do that. Okay, so before you decide to take a trade, you first set your order here or here, whatever you like to set it. You set your TP. Let's say we're gonna go for 2 hour, right? And then of course you've taken the trade, then you see how it plays out. There we go, take profit, for example. Okay, so this is not a strategy backtesting video, I just want to show you how it's done. Okay, so now that you have the trade, maybe you just allow for it to play out to see what is going to happen. Then what you do is you go to your Notion template. So let me flick to the other screen so that I can actually show you. So once you open it, it's gonna look something like this. So let me give you a brief tutorial. Now first of all, you're gonna click here to add a row, and of course you can say the pair. So right now we're backtesting GBP USD. You click enter, then of course you can describe your strategy. So let's say we're going to be backtesting a 50-minute swing trading, right, or something like this. The date, so of course we started as you said, we started from the 1st of October, so that we know from when we're backtesting, and any details, right? So I am going to backtest the 50-minute sell stops, buy stops above structure, something like this. Okay, so just briefly describe what the backtesting session is about. Then you click here. So if you're familiar with Notion, that is very good. You click here and you get this new page. So then you have to click on this template that I have prepared for you, backtest template. You click on that, you can make it full screen, and we just wait for this to get populated. So there is pretty much your template. Here are all of your backtests, okay, and there are some details below that. So let's say, for example, we took our first trade. So we type trade 1. Today it was Monday. Okay, so time of the day, we again go back to the chart. What time did we take this trade on? Again, based on your time zone, it's at 8:15. Of course, we go back and we say, we do that and we say 8:15. So the entry model, again, this was a 50-minute counter trend because we were trading against the 4-hourly trend. So again, feel free to include things. How do you include things? You just click here. And for example, let's say you say 30-minute counter trend, right? You just create a new one. It's very easy. Entry method. So again, did you wait for a 1-minute TC? Did you enter with a 5-minute TC? Did you wait for a 1-minute stop loss, or sorry, for a 50-minute stop order? Again, feel free to add anything you want right there. Stop loss pips. Well, again, if I look at the charts, the stop loss of this trade was 14 pips. So we type 14, we made 2R, and the potential R the market made was pretty much 2.1. And then of course you can see I've added the formula that is automatically gonna calculate whether it's a win, a loss, or a break even. So again, if you make a break even trade, okay, now that's the potential R. So if you make a break even trade right there, 0, it's gonna turn as a break even. If you'd like take -1, it's gonna turn as a loss. Okay, then what you want to do is you go to here and you click trade. So when you click trade, another thing is gonna populate once again. Just wait for it. So there it is. What you have right here is higher time frame market structure, lower time frame structure, and then entry and result. So here you go back to your chart, and right now you take a screenshot of your thought process, right? So again, here you're gonna screenshot this, or maybe you add an annotation. So say here 4H was at a lower low. I expect pullback towards 50%. Okay, so maybe we forgot to add our Fibonacci. Here's the Fibonacci. I expect a pullback and then potential. So then you click here and then you click copy image and then you go back to your template and you just click Control V. Boom, there's a chart. Now for your lower time frame minor structure, you again go to your chart. Again, depending on what your middle time frame is, in this case the 50-minute, we take a screenshot on the 50-minute and again add annotations, put some intention into your charts. I entered here with a stop order targeting, right, 2R after taking Asian low, right? So explain what you did, then again copy image, going back to the template, hitting Control V, boom, there it is. And again, keep in mind, you can also, you have empty space right there, you can type I took this trade because of X, because of Y. Okay, and then of course if you have even a lower time frame, if you go to the 1-minute time frame, I usually put a 1-minute chart down there. So what this makes you is a collection of trades. So then when you go back, okay, my first trade, it was a 2R profit. So okay, let me see what I actually did. Okay, well the 4-hourly time frame was counter trend, but the 50-minute made this, I took profit here, and then I can see the market reverse. So then here you can see how everything actually worked. And then again you continue. So right now after this trade played out, again based on your strategy, you just continue. You go back to the 4-hourly time frame, maybe you just wait for the new day, right? So let's wait for a new day right there. There is the new day. Well, what the market did is just massively continue to break structure lower. We're at a very big lower low right now. So again, it dropped to the 50-minute time frame. What is the Asian session doing? It is trending to the downside. So again, I would potentially expect a little pop-up and a continuation lower, or maybe a manipulation lower and a buy move. Again, we can see the market is manipulating higher right now, but in this case, like for example, if you want to enter short, maybe you want to go to the 5-minute and wait for a 5-minute trend change like this, right? Again, this is not a strategy video, so there's our trend change. Again, take the trade as you would take it live. So don't just come in right there and say, oh, this market moved down, I took the trade from here. No, you took it from there. And again, let's say you're gonna target 2R, and again you allow the trade to play out. Now if you're gonna go break even or anything like this, or maybe if you see it like this and you decide to close the trade, be honest. Okay, so let's see what happens. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so in that case I would definitely go break even because we took out like the Asian low, so the market is very likely to pull back. So in this case, again, I just go break even. Maybe I just put a little line to tell me I'm break even, and there we go, we got break even. So now once again, quality time frame, go back to your tool, then you do trade 2. That trade was taken on Tuesday. You check the time, it was taken during 9:30 in the morning. It was a 50-minute continuation because we traded with the trend. I took it with a 5-minute trend change. The stop loss was X amount of pips, in this case 15 pips, and the result was a 0. So that is a break-even trade. Now again, you go click here and click on trade, and then you simply add everything that you did again. Okay, so hopefully that's clear. Right now, let me actually jump a little bit deeper into all the data here that we have. So as you go through this process of backtesting, you're going to spot patterns. I promise you, there are going to be things that make an impression on you, or things that you want to remove from the trading, or something that you spot is happening that you want to add to your trading. Keep those notes right there. So those are your granular insights from your testing. So for example, you spot that a 5-minute TC works better than 50-minute TC because the stop loss of the 50-minute TC is bigger, right? So then you keep note of these things because that is essentially what is going to shape your trading strategy. Okay, so here you take note of stuff like this. Now, when you're ready with the backtest, right there, you're pretty much going to see all the data. So you're going to see here under values how many trades you have. You're going to see your stop loss. So if you want to calculate your stop loss, just click calculate and then you do average. So you're going to see what's your average stop loss. Here under the result, you're going to see what kind of result you have. Here at potential R, as I told you, track the maximum risk to reward that you get for the trade, right? So example, let's say that here is 2, here is this, and then for example here you can do again median or average. This is gonna show you like around an average, and you're gonna get a lot of data. So again, total amount of trades, you have it right there. 2, win rate. Now if you scroll a little bit down, you're gonna have this win rate calculator. If I try to open it, there it is. So again, here you just enter your data. It's a very nice calculator. So let's say you took 20 wins, and let's say you take 5 break evens, and let's say you took like 18 losses. So that immediately is going to tell you how many trades you took and what is your winning percent. In this case, with a 20 winners, 18 losses, and 5 break evens, you get a 46.51%. You go back to your dashboard right there, and of course you are going to type your overall win rate. So again, let's say 46%. Average trades per day. Now this one, you know, by having a look at the days right there. So again, you see you count every single Monday. How many trades did you take on Monday? How many trades did you take on Tuesday, right? So how many trades do you usually take per day? Maximum losses, you're pretty much going to see it here. If you have like a loss, then you're going to see how many you have in consecutive ones. Maximum wins, largest amount of trades per day, best trading day, worst trading, they take note of everything. And then for your qualitative analysis, this is where I want you to type more words, right? So when was the best timing for your trades? And again, this is not very quantitative, because again, like, it's very hard to say, well, 12 o'clock is the best time. Although it's possible to do that. Again, just type in my impression, right here, type in my impression, London session was best. I was taking the best trades during the first 2 hours of London. New York didn't work for me, right? So then on the next, your best days, right? So on the best days, I found that I traded the best on Tuesday. I think because on Tuesday, the market was forming the weekly high and low, and I was able to catch the market at a very good positioning, okay? Any patterns that you spotted, anything that is making an impression on you, type it down. And based on all the data you gathered, what is something that you can change or you can tweak to make this system better? Okay, so for me, that was timing, that was liquidity, that was again, trading at the right time, and also increasing my risk to reward from 2 to 2.5, because I found that my trades are running a little bit more than 2 hours, so I ended up increasing my win rate. So again, I'm gonna try to right now go and show you some of my backtesting data so that you can actually see how a filled chart is going to look like. So for example, here are some of my backtesting journals right there. Until I switched to FXReplay, I was definitely using TradingView. So again, like for example, if I click on one of these, you're gonna see a lot of data. So there it is, exactly the same thing that I'm sharing with you: the day, the time, the session, the entry model, pips, stop, entry size. I was even measuring right there if I enter on the stop, if I enter on the trend change itself, like how many pips is gonna be, did it top 10 hour, risk to reward, the biggest percentage that I got, right? So how do I actually move this to the left, right? And then I was actually looking for, like I was just placing some screenshots right there, because in this case, I didn't really put images because I was looking for a slightly quicker backtest, right? And then of course you can see, if I just go back at it, right? You can see at the bottom, you're going to get like how many trades that is. And then of course you see out of 158 trades, the median stop loss is 4 pips. So I know that based on all the trades I took, 4 pip stop loss is my ideal stop loss. Again, the result 200%. The biggest risk to reward that the trade was running for was 9 hour. So again, I know that if a trade actually goes, it has a very big potential to go up. 61 wins, 73 losses, 21 break evens. Again, if I just go to this tool right there, and if I just use the stats, so I'm gonna immediately tell you my win rate. There it is. So I took 61 wins, I took 73 losses and 21 break even. So there you go. My win rate is 40%, which is pretty much what I'm able to also do in the live markets. Again, that is pretty much reality. And again, like I have a lot of these. So for example, there is a recent strategy that I was back testing. So the session strategy that is for EU and G, and then I collected them all, right? Again, and you can see exactly the same thing. Here I was actually, it's a strategy based on the Asian range. So I was measuring the Asian range in terms of pips, how many it was trending, stop loss size, daily open, the targets that I was looking for. Again, feel free to add things here. If you get used to Notion, you can add things that you want to measure. And again, after all the testing, 85 trades, median stop loss was 7 pips, 68% return. And again, you're gonna get, and you can see like the potential was 288%. So again, it makes me think, okay, what can I do better in order to like catch a little bit more R, right? And then here you can see like 34 wins, 29 losses, 21 break evens. You can calculate the win rate and stuff like this. So as you populate your charts, they're gonna look like this. And this is what I call statistical edge and actually having the backtest. So for any strategy that I share, that I actually work on, I have the backtest, and then I, for example, roll it out to the community, right? So again, there is one of our recent strategy on the S&P 500. Again, I have the entry, I have the 50-minute time frame, I have 51 trades, and again, 50% win rate, 33% return. Not bad. This is something worth exploring. And again, always go through that backtest. So this is pretty much Notion. And again, once again, you are going to take note of like of all the pictures. Like for example, if you click on these things, you can just put a link, right? And then of course that is gonna offer you the link, right, of the picture that you took. Make sure to take pictures, because if you don't, well, you're not gonna have the date. So with that being said, this is how you do it on Notion. Again, you just gotta go back on you just gotta go back on TradingView, go through very carefully exactly what you're doing on a daily basis, figure out the entry. Again, if you want to enter on the 1 minute time frame, you draw your supply zone, you go to the 1 minute time frame and you wait for it. Okay, you don't just come in right there and just play candles or like, oh, the market moved. Or for example, if the market massively moves lower, right? Or let's say you took a trade from here, stop loss above, and the market hit your stop loss. Well, I wouldn't take this trade. No, you took it, log it in. Okay, so with that being said, this is TradingView. Let's explore the other option, which I think it's actually much better. Now, if you wish to invest in yourself and you're in your trading, I would definitely suggest you consider getting the FXReplay software. I really love this. The platform is super nice, it's easy to use, and it also uses our favorite TradingView charts, but this time you get not unlimited data, you can get like to 2020, I believe. But also what I really love about this software is that it actually keeps you accountable. If you don't take a trade, and if you don't set your order, and if you don't execute on it, you cannot go back in time, right? You simply miss the trade or you take the loss, everything is logged in. And you really have to get into the zone. You really have to get intentional with your testing, because this is as close you can get to live performance. You execute. If the trade misses you, you don't take it. If the trade hits your stop loss, it's a stop loss. If the trade misses your take profit, you cannot cheat and say, oh, well, I would have taken it here. No. So I really love the software. It was actually a community member that suggested I get it so we can do some community backtesting session, and I got it. And I also affiliated with FXReplay for a 15% discount. So if you want to get the software, make sure to use the code TradingFanatic15. It's going to give you 50% off from the subscription. Definitely a great software. I'm also affiliated with them because, again, I love them. Now, the only thing that I would suggest you do here is to also use the Notion template, because what FXReplay doesn't have is they don't have like place to take a screenshot. So again, you definitely test out, but still you have to take screenshots exactly at the same way I showed you on how to do on trading. Okay, so let me actually show you how it works. Now, first, this is the dashboard. You can create a strategy, right? So let's just say we're gonna do a test strategy. Save. So what this helps you do is, again, if you have like a strategy you want to backtest, for example, you can say I have two strategies right there. It's gonna give you all the details about that strategy. But then you have to create a backtesting session. Again, account balance is just 10,000 pairs. You have all the instruments you want, right? So let's just say Euro USD. There is Euro USD. And now here you have to pick your start date. Again, you can go back as far as 2020. I wouldn't suggest you go back 3 years ago. So let's just start like from 2023, January. Let's say we start with like the 1st of January. So that is just, you get a whole year of data, and the end date is pretty much going to be today. The strategy, you link this session to the strategy you want to test, name, maybe you put in some name, description, smooth candles, I do enable. And when you click save, it creates your session. You click here, and now you are into the live markets, exactly like the live markets. Now, you have to, okay, so I have some drawings right there. You have to first of all play a little bit with your TradingView charts, because first you're gonna have like the usual TradingView chart. So again, check my tutorial on TradingView, on the TradingView colors and everything. So again, do your colors, do your status lines, scales, background, make your tools. Okay, so do you actually feel at home like you're backtesting? And again, quality time frame, you start doing everything. Again, feel free to like do some session indicators, like any time zone indicators. I use the silver bullet because it shows the London session. It has like indicators here. It has a lot of, and I love it. Now, again, you just do exactly the same thing you would do in the live market. Quality structure breakup, daily demand zone, right? There you go with the templates and everything. Then you go to the 15-minute time frame, right? And then what I really like about this is that it has this go to section, and then I just click go to next London session, and it just prints the Asian range and goes back to the London session. So again, we're bullish on the FOIH. We took out the Asian low. So right now we can look for a potential long trade. So again, you can go to the 5-minute time frame, again, depending on what you're going to be trading. And the beauty of this is that you cannot cheat, right? Now you have to be looking for that, for example, trend change, but you cannot cheat. So there is the trend change. Now it occurred here. Now you have to decide what you're going to do at this moment. So are you going to enter from here with a stop loss below there? Are you going to be looking for a pullback? Because that determines how you're going to enter. So let's say we're going to be entering with a pullback, right? And then you have to also pick your TP. Let's say we're going to target 2R right there at the previous daily high. Now you have to click on the 2 and you place order right there. And that is the beauty of the software, because you're actually taking trades, risk per trade from the current balance, position size, entry, take profit, stop loss, everything. Now here you just got to be careful. If you're entering with a limit order, you have to change this to limit, right? But if you're entering exactly from the current price, you have to click mark. So again, be careful. And now if you click save, this sets an order. So if the market goes without us right now, we're not in the trade. And if the market hits stop loss, we take the stop loss. There is no way to cheat and to lie the system. So there you go. We actually got triggered. Now we are in the trade, and you have to manage it. You can move your stop loss to break even. You can move your take profit if you want to enlarge it. You can also, if you want to close partials, you click close position and you can close partials. It is incredible, right? And then you just click play, right? And the market goes. Let's see what it does. Okay, we're trading on the 2nd of January, which is not a good place to trade. But again, like, let's just play forward. And again, you manage your trade. Boom, boom, very chop. Okay, we hit stop. And right now, there is no way back. You're down 1%. That's it. You cannot say, well, I would have taken a break even on that trade. No, you did not, because if you would have moved your stop loss to break even. Okay. And now what you simply do is, okay, I took the stop loss. You again click here, copy image, and you mark this up. You take note of this trade in your Notion template. And then again, what I simply like to do is, if I'm just trading London session, I like to go back to the next London session. Okay. So again, still here. here. We're still bullish. So let's try to take another long. You wait, you start pressing 50-minute candles, and yeah, the market just massively dumped. And again, no trade. The market just dumps right now. If you don't want to take any trades, then you just don't take a trade. And again, you go to the next London session. But now, again, follow with your higher time frames. Now again, you delete the old stuff. Make sure to take note of it in Notion. We have a 4-hourly trend change down there. We have a brand new 4-hourly supply. The market is right now at a lower low, so we can expect potentially some longs, but we can also expect continuations lower. Okay, the market is still traveling towards the 50%, a lot of imbalance, and you can see it's like you're actually really trading. You have to wait for it. You cannot just press forward, because here you cannot go back. Let's say I want to actually go back and take a short here. You cannot go back. There is no way to go back and actually pretend you took the trade. If you missed the trade, you missed it forever, right? And then again, you have to be really careful, right? So for example, in this case, the market opens, manipulates. Okay, the market very nicely pushed up, the imbalance, I want to take a short, but then maybe you go to the 5-minute time frame. Here I want to wait for, let's say, for a trend change. There is the trend change. So am I going to enter from here exactly, or am I going to be looking for some sort of a pullback? Well, let's say I enter from here and I'm going to target the Asian low. So click on your tool, place order, then I'm just going to do market. You click save, and now you are in the trade. There is no coming back. If it hits stop loss, it hits stop loss. If maybe it gives you a little pullback to take a better entry, you can scale in, but you cannot change your entry because you're already in, right? And then you just allow for the market to play out and see what happens. Again, I'm trading. Again, this is not a backtesting session right there because we're trading at the worst time. We're still in the trade, right? You can see we're still in the trade. So right now you can choose to manage it. You can choose to go break even. You can choose to close your trade because you think the market might reverse. You are just here making decisions, right? And again, you just play. Let's see what happens today. Okay, wait a little bit. We take out the Asian high. I'm still bearish. And again, you look for that trend change. There is the trend change. Now, if you decide to take a short from here, you decide how to take it. Are you going to take it with a limit here and a stop loss above? And then of course let's say we target that same thing. Let's see, you click here, place order, then you click on a limit because we're setting a limit right there. And then you just click play. There you go. We're into the trade, stop loss above, and you just allow it to play out. Oh, nice. And again, like in this case, you can decide to close partials. So you simply click here on the X based on the trade. So I'm not sure how we actually, because we took the two trades from the same direction, so I'm not sure how it separates them. But if you click here, you can choose how many partials to close. Like let's say I want to close 80% partials. You click save, right? And now 80% is closed. And then of course you just play. There is our take profit and everything is closed, right? Then again, you click on the trade, copy image, you go back to the footage, actually explain, okay, the market was at a lower high. I expected lower downside. So again, this is why I took this trade with a 50-minute trend change with a limit from the 50-minute zone. Take notes, okay? And now, as you go through a lot of these trades, again, this is not a backtesting session. I'm not here to teach you a strategy or anything else. Let me know if you would like me to do that. Now here, under the strategy, you're going to get all of your insights. So if you click here, you're going to see your total P&L, you're going to see your win rate, you're going to see the total trades, your average risk to reward, your max risk to reward on your trades, ideal average, max ideal. Again, I'm still kind of exploring it, but you get all of these stats. Again, you can see loss streak, max loss streak, duration of your trade, your average loss, your average win, how many win streak you have, exactly the things that I told you to take note of. It already offers it. What did I tell you about the days, right? As you get 100 trades, I promise you're going to see which days work the best. You actually see here the profits you make per day, right? And if I actually show you, let's say some stuff that I'm backtesting, let's say this, for example, when you click, you get more data. You see your equity curve, you see how much percentage you've had, you see your win rate. You see, again, in this case, you can see the risk to reward I take, the average is 2.5. Well, I'm getting like the max I'm getting is 6. So I can definitely look to increase my risk to reward, right? Max losing streak, 6 trades. So I know that when I'm trading this setup live, I know that I can get 6 trades losses in a row. And I know that after 5 winners in a row, I can potentially get some losses. Here you can see by day. So what I see is that Monday is one of my most profitable days, right? Wednesday, 50-50, right? Friday also 50-50. So what I consider trading Wednesday and Friday? Probably not. Here again, you can see the total performance per month. Here you can see every day that you took and the result during that day. You can see, like, for example, in May, I only took 3 trades. And again, this makes me think long term, because if I have like 2 to 3 weeks without a trade, I am calm and I'm not gonna rush into doing anything stupid. So that is FXReplay. Definitely recommend getting this, because this is the closest you can get to real trading with real execution and with real stats. So make sure you do that. Alright, fanatics, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to let me know down in the comments if you did. Let me know what you actually learned from it and what is your plan of action going forward with backtesting, forward testing, and also gathering your data. Hit the thumbs up in order to help us spread this video out, and make sure to grab your Notion template down in the description, and make sure to join FXReplay with the code TradingFanatic15 so you can get some discount and of course take your backtesting to the next level. Of course, if you need anything else, let me know down in the comments for another topic that you want me to talk about. And again, I love you guys and talk to you in the next one. Bye bye.